Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Built Structures video. This is going to be my second build for Gary Weiss. Actually, it's not going to be too intensive, I don't think, at least at this point. But what you see behind me are a couple of grain elevators, and I'm also going to be building a third elevator. The first one here is going to be as it is. I just need to get some decals and weather it for him. The second one here is going to be a combined tower or elevator, if you want to call it that. And I intend to do a little bit of kit bashing to this one. I hope Gary trusts me what I'm going to do to his model, so you guys can watch me screw it up as I screw it up. Anyhow, we're going to wait for decals for this one, and then when I get this one done, I'm going to order some more decals for this one. Alright guys, what I am intending to do with this one here, when I build the other kit for him, is I intend to do something like that. Now I'm undecided if I want to cut this down on both sides and just have it like this, you know, or keep it like that and put a piece of styrene in here to make it look like one complete section on the top. Anyhow, I really don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I'm still in the thinking process, and that could be a bad thing. But anyhow, we're going to start by putting this kit partially together. And at the same time, I need to remove this wall and this loading shed, because I have to redo this to accommodate the full size of the building. So, without further ado, I guess we can get on with this. Alright guys, we're going to get started on Gary's build here. Like I mentioned, I am going to kit bash this. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll find out as we travel along in our journey. I decided to come up with this configuration to make a complete grain elevator. As you can see, there'll be silos on both sides. This area here, I have a few options to do. First option would be just to add a piece of styrene in there. The second option would be to cut this section of the windows out and have that in here like that, and have these windows all line up here down on the bottom. Or the third option I have is just to put a wall in here to just complete the top section. I'm trying to get away from it to look like a Walters kit, so my option is probably 99% sure is going to be this. And so we'll see how we go along. So anyhow, let me get started on this, and we'll show you how we're going to attempt to build this kit. Alright, the first step I did with Gary's build was he had sent me this when it was pretty much completed. I had to disassemble it all just to get what I want to do here. I want the end walls, this side and the other side, not to have any doors in the way where the silos would be, so I had to rearrange everything. So now we are going to get down to actually starting to put this puppy together. What I got to do first is, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, if I can get it up there a little closer. There are these mounting bosses on here that need to be ground down, so I could put a piece of styrene in the backside here to hold these two pieces together. I just wish that Walters or Cornerstone, whatever you want to call a company, would have made these walls a little bit different than each other, because all four of these walls, both this side and this side, are exactly the same wall. I suppose I could take the time to block out some of these windows, but I'm just going to leave it as is. So the next step in this process is for me to break out the old Dremel tool and I will be using this sanding block to grind this down here so I can get a flat surface to mount a piece of styrene to reinforce this. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can actually see this on camera. Let's see if I can get in there a bit. But there is a little warpage in here, as you can see. Anyhow, that'll be taken care of when I put the styrene support in the back. Anyhow, let's get on with the project. Alright guys, we're going to start with the process of grinding this support down a little bit. I don't want to go too far and go into the actual outside wall, so this is going to take quite a while to do because I have to do passes in very gentle pressure. Anyhow, let's get started. Alright guys, both sides have been ground down and sanded down, and I have a nice flat surface on both pieces here. As you can see, I have added a couple of lines here where I want to join this together with a piece of scrap that I've been telling you guys all along to be saving. This happens to be off one of my previous projects where I cut this off, and I know it's square because I squared it up before I cut it. But anyhow, I'm going to put a 4-foot, scale 4-foot support in here to join these two halves of the building together. So, as you can see, or maybe you can't see, there is a line right here that's at 4 feet, and this is the total length of it. I need to cut 2 of these out, but I'll do one at a time. Anyhow, let me get on with that, and I'll show you how that comes along in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're ready to assemble the first wall. As you can see, I got my support piece already cut out, and I did sand it down so I get a good gluing surface. I elected to use the Model Masters glue because it will give me a little bit more working time. And then once I get this secured on there, I'll be putting a couple of these paint bottles on top of it to hold it down. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started with this. Alright guys, it's been about almost 2 hours for this to cure up, and as you can see, I've got a pretty sturdy building here so far. The green tape you see on the outside here, I am going to be adding, I think they call them pilasters. Let me see, what did I do with that? Oh well. Anyhow, what I'll do is I'll add some plastic down here and here and here and here, and then finally when I get the window on the upper window done, oops, hold on guys, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's funny how when you drop something, it always goes to the furthest point away from where you can't reach it. Anyhow, I dropped this little piece right here, and this is the piece that's going to fill in this gap right here. And I noticed something as I was doing this, that I could put it in either this way or this way, and the windows will line up. I had to also sand down the back here because it had one of these mounting points, but measure twice, cut once, and this is what you'll get. You need to do a little bit of sanding on this one here. I cut them big. As I always tell you, you can cut it big and always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. Anyhow, there'll be some pilasters going up here to cover those seams, and what I need to do now is get on with the other side and do the same exact thing. Alright guys, to mount this little guy in this area, what I did was I added some extra styrene around it to have some support, and that'll fit right in there, and just need to glue it in. And as you can see, the windows all line up, and all I need to do is sand down the top here a bit to get it all straightened out. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and mount this in there, and then we'll start on the other section like this to do the Dremel thing and get it all ready to go. Anyhow, let's get on with this. Alright guys, as you can see, Wall number 1 is semi-completed. I just need to add all the plastic, but that won't get done until the building is pretty much assembled so I can measure everything out. Also, I mentioned the pilasters. What I'm also going to be using is this angle on the corners to make it the corner pilaster, if you want to call it that. Anyhow, I guess that's all I can do for this wall right now, so we'll get started on the second wall just like this. So let's get on with that, and we'll see how we can screw up some more stuff. Alright guys, and we're back with the build for Gary Weiss. As you can see that I have added my fill-in blanks here. Again, if you measure twice and cut once, you'll get a nice clean seam here, and to cover those seams I'm going to be putting what I call pilasters. They will go down the seams like this, and also there'll be some that go along this way. It's funny, this is the same exact kit purchased at different times, and I don't know if you guys are actually going to see this, if I can get it close enough. This is the new kit here, and this is an older kit here. This has a slight texture to it like concrete should have, and this is just plain styrene. I don't know if they changed their tooling or if they just found it cheaper to do it that way or whatever their problem is. But anyhow, just to give you guys a heads up on that. The next part of this video, well not this video, it'll be in part 2, I will be putting together the silos, which I really don't like to do because the silos never wind up to be exactly perfect. Anyhow, I will go ahead and put the pilasters on here and all the supports and everything, and I'll bring you back after that, and that will be the conclusion of part 1 for Gary Weiss's build. So let me get on with that. Alright guys, as you can see I've got all my cross members and pilasters in there. For the corners I'm going to be using this number 294 angle. That'll be the corner supports, and for the pilasters themselves I use this number 134 30 thousandths by 80 thousandths strip styrene. The next step for this is for me to go ahead and do a primer on this here, and we'll talk about the color I'm going to do when we get back. Alright guys, what you see now is all my components, or the building components anyhow, are primed up, and I want you to know that this is supposed to be a light gray. I guess they better get their colors oriented better. Anyhow, this building here is going to get a very light beige or tan color, and the silos will get probably a concrete color. So with all that being said, this is going to be the end of part 1 for Gary's build. In the next video I hope to have the entire building completed with the silos and the head houses and this all put together. I can't put it together before and paint it all as one unit. I have to paint it in sections because of all the windows. I have to install the windows before I actually put the building together. Anyhow, I hope you guys like this this video, part 1 of Gary's build. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. Don't forget to donate a little bit to my PayPal me account. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.